So you load SBox into a MIDI track, and then this is what the layout looks like. So you have a bass drum, two toms, a snare drum, hi-hat, and a cymbal. Each one of those are represented here on the sequencer. You can make the sequencer any amount of steps up to 16. And then you have the tune, drive, amp attack, decay. So my favorite thing to do, I like the sound of the toms on these Skinner boxes. If you hit this little question mark, it'll throw a random pattern into the sequencer. So now when you hear that back, and if you put the pitch up of the tom, decay up, and the attack, sounds pretty solid. One thing I would recommend doing though is putting something after it that can level the sound. Just gonna do the saturator. And then if we make the other tom do a random mode, that also sounds kind of cool. We do something similar with the pitch and the envelope. Bump the drive up a little bit. I don't mess with overtones too often. And the cool thing now is that we can just duplicate this Skinner box in the same instrument rack, like that. So now we have two of the same thing. But on this one, pitch the toms up a little bit. Maybe bring the drive down. And the direction decay. And then we make the steps in the sequencer an odd number instead of an even number. And now they're going to start doing a polyrhythm together. And then we can pan those separately too. So we'll put one through this really good plugin called Reels. So the higher pitch of the two. And we will send that into the right speaker. Just using a stereo utility. Maybe we'll do that. And then we'll copy that. And we'll bring it to the other one. Only reverse it. And we'll put this right one through wires. Also by Audio Thing. And I'm going to turn all the tape hiss and mechanical noise down, just for now. And because this is a polyrhythm, a good way to resample it is to actually just literally resample it. From this MIDI track, just hit Command-T, make an audio track, and then resample from the two instrument rack we just made. You can also rename stuff as you go, so we could call this toms. So yeah, resample from the toms, keep the monitor off, hit record, and here it comes. That's plenty. And then now we just loop a random section for 2 bars. Oh, and we also gotta turn these off. Here we go. And then quickly drag that into session view. And we'll check it out over here. This is good because now we can add little rolls in there. Just highlighting stuff and hitting Command-D. Now we're back in session. Cool. And now we can do it again for like a kick drum and some hi-hat stuff. So that's the kick and the hi-hat now. And we will also do some cymbal stuff. Yeah. And then to give it some more life, we can actually, there's these LFOs on here that we can map to a singular destination. But we're going to do the cymbal decay. And then you have to choose its low end and its high end. So there it goes. And that's pretty lit. Create a new audio track and resample from toms. There it is. Okay, now we got that. We can stop all that stuff. I'm just going to delete it because whatever. I'm going to make the kick and hi-hat mono, but I'm going to do that with the RC20. Has a really good width knob on it. And now we sidechain. And now keeping in with the drum processing technique that I'm on right now, we're going to group those and put them all through a retro color. Yeah, that's pretty good. So that is how I use Skinnerbox. And the process can just continue forever, so literally, this is how random it can be and how much fun it can be. You can also randomize all of these knobs. So you hit this little question mark right here. I'm going to hit them on the toms, and then hit random patterns. And then just make sure that the drive isn't out of control. Make sure the attacks are good, and it just comes up with that on its own. Also can change different notes. Uh-oh, I froze it. Good God. I guess that can happen sometimes. I haven't really noticed that happen since Ableton shut down a couple days ago, and that's been happening. But yeah, you just gotta delete it and restart. Not the worst thing. It's kind of a blessing in disguise if you make it one. And I'm gonna just record that straight into the group. And we can loop it randomly, because it doesn't matter. That sounds very hard. Another Skinnerbox, perhaps. Just do something like this. And I'm going to map the decay to a slider that I have over here, so now I can do that kind of stuff. It's freezing a lot more than what I'm used to. Let's just see if they control... Yeah, a copy, delete, paste works just fine. Group both of those and sidechain them both to kick 2. We will send these to my master thingy. Clay. Noise, motion to a slider. And just for some samples, we'll use a granulator. And if you're wondering what all this audio is that I'm pulling from, because I freeze flatten so often, a lot of my the parts in my songs, like the tracks, are rendered to audio into this gigantic folder from the last, this one here says 2019-083. I mean, there are some samples in here from like 2017. There are some that don't even have a date because they're just the OG from ages ago. Get some sub in there. Yeah. It's fun stuff. Endless fun. This is all the audio from that project. Okay, I think that's plenty for today. Skinner box, go get it at ableton.com. Packs. Link in the description for it.